I just had to go live because I needed to share the amount of relief I've felt just by coming into my room and making my space feel good for me by turning on high frequency music. What's playing right now is 963 hertz, and it's labeled "You Are the Universe, Manifest Anything You Desire." So basically high frequencies helps raise your vibration and can actually heal your brain and your mind and your spirit and your body and everything, because it is a continuum. So I just felt like I had to come on here because I was feeling, sorry, the lighting is horrible. It's okay. I don't have a lot of options considering I don't even have a light in my room. But it was clearly dusty. But yeah, I was feeling kind of tense and stressed and overwhelmed and just highly energized. And I came into my room, like I've been on my phone all day, and that's been something I've really been struggling with, and I could actually use some guidance on. Hold on 1 second. I don't know, but it was some message. I'll look at that later. But yeah, but basically, I don't know what I was saying, but either way, I came into my room and I put down, I really am going to need help with balancing. I'm going to need to work on it. Balancing just like being on my phone and being on social media and, trying to work my businesses, but at the same time live my life. So I definitely am trying to recruit a team. I already have a couple of people who I'm going to collaborate with. We're going to help each other. But yeah, so I was feeling pretty highly energized and tense. I always know whenever I need to do something, like my body tells me. So I feel tension in my heart, and it's kind of hard to describe, but if you've experienced it, you'll understand. But it's basically just uncomfortable physical sensations. Like imagine like the most nerve-wracking thing that you're doing, or just any negative feelings that you've ever had, and I can feel it literally in my heart. And that can happen to me just by simply being so overwhelmed by honestly human interaction and a lack of balance. Too much, not human interaction in general, but too much human interaction, too much basically dumping your energy out into the world and into everyone else, and then therefore feeling depleted and anxious and all sorts of negative things. But I came in my room and I put my phone down. It's hard for me because I feel like I want to keep talking to people, but I really genuinely cannot be on my phone all the time, and I don't like being on it. It hurts my eyes. It just doesn't make me feel good, and I want to be present, and I want, I want to live my life. And while I love sharing my life and I want to share my life, I'm just going to have to try to find that balance, because I do have a busy personal life, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to, share what I love and share what I want to share, but at the same time not have to spend my life on social media and on my phone and my computer, because I am very slow. I've always been the slowest. I'm a slow and intentional worker. I have perfectionist tendencies, and so it really takes me a long time to do just like the simplest things. Like if you know me, like you're probably laughing right now, but if anybody even watches this, I don't really care. I just felt like coming on. while I was listening to my high frequency music, because it's amazing what this music can do. Like, you turn it on and immediately, like, I don't know if this happens for everyone, but for me, I turn it on and I immediately feel just kind of this like a peace wash over me. If I feel distressed, and I just, it's just amazing what sound and music can do, physiologically and spiritually. I already said all of this, but yeah, it's amazing, and everything is connected, everything is related, we are all one, and everything that exists for a reason, because it was created for a purpose. We all have a purpose. And I don't just mean all humans, I mean literally everything that exists naturally on this earth, I believe, has a purpose, and I believe there's a synchronicity to this world, and nothing, honestly, nothing is random, and it all depends on whether you open your heart up to it. And it's okay if you choose to just kind of like to not open your heart up to it, and to, you know, see things as random. It's all perspectives, whatever makes you feel good, basically. But I see things, I'm just based off of personal experience. I see a synchronicity to this world, and I see it. I can see and feel, and I've experienced like the spiritual aspect to life, and I'm coming from somebody who, like, I've always been a skeptic. I went along with it, and then I started becoming skeptical, and then I was convinced I was atheist. Like, I'm a scientist, and I'm a logical, rational, technical thinker. So there was one point a few years ago I was convinced I was atheist, and it was because of the way I had been fed concepts, and it was just because of programming. And I'll go into programming in a video. I'm going to do an individual video on reprogramming your mind, and I just had a problem with, I didn't know which route I wanted to take, like, as far as spirituality goes. Like, I knew that there was more to life than just like I knew life wasn't random, but I had all of these things like that I knew about, and knew like certain small bits about, but it finally hit me that, like, it's all the same, it's all connected, it's all the same concept in different, you know, religions, in different places. It's all the same. We all want the same thing. We all want to, essentially, we are all at the core are love and light. And no matter what you call it, we were created by, I just call it God, because that's the simplest thing. Source, our creator, he created us. But no, okay. Now I'm working on myself, but like, I just naturally have always said he, referring to God, because of just programming, like I said. But that's something that I want to address too. And not that it's a problem, like, that's okay. You can say he, because I just get it. It's like, you say what's easy to say and what comes naturally. But God is a force. He's a power. He's a spirit. Here I am saying he again. God is not a he. Basically, he's not a he, she. He's not human. God is an it. I keep saying, okay. Yeah. So there's a source to this all, in my opinion. And now I've just ranted, and I don't think there's any turning back, because it's live. But yeah, just try to notice, step back, look at your life, notice your own actions, notice your own thoughts, notice your own feelings, because none of that is random. I will tell you that. It's all trying to tell you something. I'm going to go into this deeper too, but in a video, but oftentimes pain is more often than not chronic pain, I would say, which I've experienced like for years. I say years, I'm young, so it feels like years for me, but it's been, I don't know. If I don't know, like it's annoying, and it's like chronic pain, that means you feel it all the time. So, but like through my spiritual work and through like guidance, I call them spiritual guides. Like they're genuinely spiritual guides in my life, because they've helped me through my transformation and helped me become more conscious. So I lost me doing a plot again. I'm gonna have to work on this. But yeah. On that note, pain. So pain more often than not, unless you have a physical injury, a defect, something like that. Chronic pain most likely is not physical. Well, not most likely. I will say, if you do have a physical problem, like if you exert yourself physically and you have pain for like from a known reason, then that's different. But there are natural healing techniques for that as well, which I can go into later. But if you have chronic pain and you're just like, why am I in pain? Why am I in pain? Which is exactly how I was for so long, like trying to figure out how to not be in pain and like constantly feeling like I need to adjust and it was honestly my chiropractor who really enlightened me. But I realized like my pain was not physical. Like I kept like wondering what's wrong with me, because medicine these days, like it's viewed, it's not like specialties. You can't look at different aspects of you separately, because it's all together. Like it's not, you can't look at it separately, like, because it's all a continuum, like I said. But yeah, so but basically a lot of pain can come from blockages, energy blockages in your body for whatever reason. It's unique for every person. That's why I feel like healthcare is a little skewed at the moment. And I took the history of science, the history of modern science class, and I this kind of started to open, like this kind of led me to my belief on modern medicine, and honestly on healing and on medicine today. But this class was awesome. I had an awesome teacher. But I'm gonna, now that I'm thinking about this, I need to do a video on it because I can't get into it now. But I could see in the history like a change in how medicine was approached. And disease, like, because of technology, diseases emerged from technology. Like, so before individuals were looked at, symptoms were grouped, and they were treated based on their symptoms. And then technology started to boom, and they were able to just quickly diagnose people. And so humans kind of just became, or like any beings became houses of disease. Like, we are not houses of disease. We are individuals, and you can't group us. Just, that's a whole nother concept, which I said I'm going to get into. But yeah, basically the way you feel physically is probably not always physical. So yeah, this has turned into like a long thing, and I did not expect that. I don't know if this is going to be saved or what, but I'm ranting, and I guess I needed to because it's happening. But yeah, I'm going to post this, but since I got on the topic, I'm going to post on my Instagram, probably my Facebook, if you want to follow me at Syd, SYD _A_ Hinds, HINDS. I have to say it. I have to pronounce it very. I have to enunciate. That's the word, because nobody understands what I'm saying. D and E sound the same, so it's D as in dog. And my name, you can just search me on Facebook, and I have a page on there. But I wrote this randomly. Let me find it. I wrote this randomly one night. Like, I always have just like, it varies. I'm so passionate about so many different things that like it varies what I'm ranting about or what I'm thinking strongly about, like day by day, minute by minute, second by second. Literally, it's insane. That's basically why I'm here right now on YouTube filming myself, because I have to get it out, or else like I've been going crazy. Okay, and I'm already feeling better because I'm like letting it out. It feels so good. But so this was 3/16. So that was before I recently went through like a breakup. It wasn't anything. So we were together for a long time. It wasn't. I'm not gonna go into that. But yeah, no hard feelings at all. But obviously, emotions. I love him and will always love him. And I've known him most of my life, but I was going through some stuff, and this was right before. I felt like, so there's a concept of quantum healing, which I'll go into another time. Lots of ideas, not a lot of time, but there really is plenty of time. It's just going to take a while for you guys to see the content. But I'm reading a book called Quantum Healing, and I really do believe kind of like that's the concept that I think about when I feel like what happened to me, because I was feeling so not good, like feeling so terrible, and then all of a sudden something changed, and and that's the idea of quantum healing, like a quantum leap, very like so small you can't even detect what it was that happened and what change happened. And this is not only mental, this is physical, which I'll go into in the video about that. But this was a thought. I just jotted this down. This was like when I was really starting to feel like I was like things were changing in my mind. But I wrote, maybe this disorder isn't real at all. It's actually just a state of dis-ease. Disorder, disease, whatever you want to call it. It's actually just a way of labeling a group of just enough symptoms reported/shared by just enough people to make up for the fact that humans truly have no grasp on health/healing/life/death for what it is, deep down to the core, ... A little extreme here, but I was ranting. Much more effort will have to be put into each individual's conscious awakening if humanity wants to really heal, instead of just masking symptoms. So that's something I truly believe, and I can't sit here and tell you I know everything that about what I'm talking about, like, because I don't. But I remember, and I feel very passionate about like things that I hear and I learn from various sources, and they stick with me, and I start to like make connections in my mind. And so these are just thoughts coming from me. I'm not claiming to be a know-it-all. But yeah, that's something that yeah, I feel like that really needs to be addressed, and I'm gonna do a video on it because it's, I feel like, so important, but yet so many people have not thought about it from that perspective. And like I said, the history of science class is really, I think, what triggered this for me, this perspective. But that is the main reason why I've been fueled to go into like medicine potentially, or the scientific field or something, because I just want to change the way that the world looks at disease. and about pain and about illness, and change the vocabulary. Vocabulary is so important. Every word has a vibration. Another video I'm going to go into is about using the word my. For example, my anxiety, my depression, my OCD. And this is something I'm guilty of, and I'm not like trying to be extreme and be like, you can't say this, but just be mindful that, like, when you say, like, yeah, my anxiety is keeping me from doing this, you don't own the anxiety. The anxiety isn't yours. It's a feeling. It's an emotion. It's not anything permanent. It's gonna pass. No feelings are permanent. Nothing is permanent except for never. But it's not permanent, and it's not yours, and you are not your feelings, and you are not your tendencies, and you are not, like, you can just change, like, I'm feeling anxious, or like, just be mindful of that, because when you do start, like, because this is what happened to me, like, when you do start labeling yourself, like, subconsciously you fall into, like, using that, like, blaming that on things. But I believe that those things are absolutely not diagnoses for life. Like, the brain is unbelievably malleable. Like, it's insane. I really want to share some posts by Medspiration, which is an Instagram that I followed. It's like med, like MED, spiration, like as an inspiration, Medspiration. That's been one of my favorite accounts that I've followed. But yeah, they just prove it, like, because they're doctors, so they prove it with it. So it's basically a mind, body, spirit account, but run by doctors, which I've always needed validation by people who, like, by doctors, honestly, kind of, when it comes to mind, body, spirit stuff. Or at least I used to need validation, because I was such a skeptic, and I'll always be a skeptic, but I'm not a skeptic about this anymore. But yeah, so, oh my gosh, I'm just realizing I'm being loud, and my roommates, if they hear me, are wondering, who is she talking to? But oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought again. And this is why I need to find balance, because I need more time for meditation. Monkey brain up here. But yeah, so I'm gonna close this, and maybe what I was saying will come back to me. Yeah, but basically, they post stuff like actual, like, there was one post that I always think about, and that always sticks with me, and is what I refer to in my mind when I think about how malleable the brain is. And by malleable, that means, like, it can change easily. It has the capability of changing. But like, you can mold it to however you want, honestly. And this is proven by doctors, people. So if you're skeptical, I know, because for a long time I knew this, but I didn't want to accept it because it was so hard, and I wasn't doing a good job. And, like, I've always been a perfectionist and have high expectations for myself. And if I'm not doing something perfect, if I'm not succeeding right then I'm mad. Well, but that's how I was. But now I just, like, I feel so open to just learning new things, and I'm excited about it. And it's all because of, I know everything is connected, and, like, anything that is well researched, or, like, I always, like, look into things, and I have a lot of intuitive feelings, but I can feel whenever I can trust the person and whether I know, like, you know, if they're talking or science, like published science. Like I always make sure that my sources are trustworthy. But I love hearing different perspectives. But back to Medspiration, one of my favorite posts is, it's literally like an image, it's a video of neurons literally making new connections. Like you can see the dendrites reaching out for another neural cell, and they make a connection. And your connections are always changing in your brain, and this is happening every single time you think, talk, form a new habit, like literally all the time. And so think about a muscle. These neural pathways is what you call them. So like these, like the connections that the neurons make are neural pathways, and it basically takes your thoughts through a certain path. And you can think of it as like your brain, your muscles. Like the more you exercise your muscles, like the easier something, or the more you practice something, the easier it gets. Like basically that. So what you have to do is train your brain. Like you literally have to form new thought patterns and that will form new neural pathways. And the more you practice it, and that's like the whole idea about mindfulness practice and meditation and all of that. Mindfulness practice is to form new. This is how I would think of it. Mindfulness is more so to form new pathways in your brain and new habits, and like to raise your awareness and your consciousness. And then meditation obviously does much of the same stuff, but for me, meditation I use to calm my brain so that I can more easily control it, and not let like my emotions control my brain. But so like for example, like if you repeat a thought, if you say like, say you're self-conscious or something and you say out loud, like, oh, I suck, that carries a vibration, and it has an energy. And when it's spoken out loud, when it's thought, it carries a vibration, and then the amplitude of it increases, like the amplitude of the frequency. So the vibration is the frequency, the amplitude of it. And this is all like kind of, these are physics concepts, but the amplitude of that thought increases when it's spoken out loud. So when you say I suck, you are going to start to believe that you suck. That's a neural pathway. And if like depression is essentially like your brain, depression, anxiety, any sort of like mental illness is pretty much your brain, for whatever reason, stuck in these negative thought processes, because those are the neural pathways that are the most trained in your brain. And it's all about like starting to become mindful and be able to like observe your own thoughts and like actually genuinely stop yourself. And you can think, oh, like this is what I started doing. Like whenever I was feeling really down and thinking I was whatever, I would look in the mirror, and like if I would be like, I would think, like, here's just an example. Ew, your face looks gross. There's a thought that comes through. Pause. I observe that thought, and I think, no. I'm not going to talk bad to myself. And so then, like, it got to the point where I was talking to myself out loud, and like that sounds crazy, but it carries a vibration, and if it's positive, it can literally affect your mood, your brain, your everything. So like if you like try mirror work, like standing in front of the mirror and telling yourself like you're beautiful. And this is what I would do too sometimes, like you are love, you are light, you were created for a purpose. Just anything, whatever you need to hear, tell yourself out loud in your head and just practice. And eventually those neural pathways will be trained enough to where like it's just a practice, and then eventually it won't be hard, and that is all it is. It's hard at first, but isn't everything that's worth it. So on that note, now that I have been healed by this 963 hertz You Are the Universe music and officially just spilled out a ton of stuff to, I don't know if it's even going to be anyone, but I'm feeling good about it, and I love you all. And it's time for me to get ready for bed and do my routine stuff, maybe do a little yoga. I've been really trying to end my day on like a very calm and peaceful note, and like a new thing I've been thinking is like never wake up and immediately look at your phone. Never look at your phone and immediately go to bed. So that's like a new thing I'm living by, and I need time. So I'm slow and I'm a procrastinator because I'm all over the place, but I'm gonna go, and love you guys. I'm really busy right now with school, but expect more content soon, and feel free to message me anywhere or comment, do whatever, reach out to me, email me, or anything. However you want to do it, let me know anything you'd want to see on my channel. And I got you. Peace and love. Good night, guys. Now let's see. End stream.